friends, welcome back to my channel, Lux Party Favors by Nikki. I finally put up my background. I did some rebranding. As you can see, the colors have changed. I went from the neutral to something more fun and welcoming, just in time for the new year. I'm not exactly in love with this situation. I probably should iron out the wrinkles. Maybe that will give what it's supposed to give. I'm not sure if I'm going to change the background. There's another curtain that I saw that was sparkly orange, so I may go in that direction. But I tried to incorporate this seafoam color with the green background so that it wasn't too orangey, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But this is what you have for now. And you know, if I have another background, just know I told you so. That's what I wanted to do. We will see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how this films. And I may purchase that sparkly orange curtain. But anyway, let's get down to business. Today, we're going to be making these notebook pages. Apparently, they're viral. I didn't even know it was a thing until someone commented. So thank you. You know who you are. Tag yourself in the video. Tag yourself in the comments. Thank you for the recommendation, because I wasn't going to do this because it's super, super simple. When you guys see me walk through the tutorial, you're gonna say, that was easy. I could have figured that out myself. But I'm here for you in the event that you're having some trouble with this. Okay, so I decided to make this Christmas theme because we are days away from Christmas, but you can use this for any type of event. Pen pal, you can use it for branding, you know, if you want to write a letter to your customer. I'll probably actually do that. I'll probably turn this into some type of branding, and you can use it for essentially anything. So I printed it on normal photo paper that I got from Walmart, the Pen and Gear brand, but I'm gonna walk you through. So after I wrap up here, you're gonna see my computer screen, and it's going to be a voiceover. It's going to take you to Canva, so you will need Canva in order to do this tutorial. All right. Hey friends, as promised, coming to you with the viral notebook sheets created in Canva. First things you're going to do is open up a new template and size it 8.5 by 11. At that point, you're going to select elements. Below, if you are using your mobile device, it looks different if you're on a laptop, and type in notebook paper, and you are going to see a ton of options to choose from. You have the graphic options and the photo options. The photo options are more realistic, if I'm not mistaken, and the graphic items are a bit more cartoonized. So I was playing around with them. I thought I was going to like that one, but it had specs on it and I didn't like that, but it was so cute. This one had some specs on it as well. So I went back and I was looking around some more and decided to settle on this one. So I'm just going to stretch it out so it fills the entire page. No worry if you can't see the red line, because we're going to fix that. We're just going to select it and just scooch it over a bit so that you can see the red line. At that point, we're going to add the picture. So this is my little AI cutie. I created her in ChatGPT, I believe. She is not a real baby, but she is adorable. And so I'm just going to resize her and remove the background. If you see at the bottom, it says BG remover. And then at that point, this is where the magic happens, y'all. Scroll on over until you see transparency. Select transparency and just bring that transparency all the way down to 50%. That's what I'm going to do for all the elements on here, or whichever percentage you like, you know, to give it the look that you want. But I left it at 50%, moved her down to a position that I thought looked cute. And now I'm going to add some more elements, because the focus of this specific sheet is going to be a Dear Santa letter. But you can use these designs for pretty much anything. Dear Diary, you can use it for branding, just a pen pal, anything. So I went back to the element sections and I just typed in Dear Santa. And as you see, there are a ton of options. And if you have the Canva Pro, you can use all of the elements, including those with the crown. But if you have the standard edition, you cannot use the items with the crowns on it. So I selected the Dear Santa, and then I'm going to go back in and select some more elements. I'm going to go with that Santa mail because that's a cute look. It's a little postage stamp. And I'm going to go back into the element section and search Santa postage so I can see what other options that they have available within Canva. And as you see, there's, you know, some cutie options, and I'm just going to go ahead and select that priority element and stick it right under that postage stamp. And you'll see I'm going to move some things around. I'm going to change the colors because I really like the deep red color. So I'm going to change all of the elements to the deep red color, and you'll see that here in a bit. You see that Dear Santa? I just selected it, and then I'm going to take the dropper and move to the color I want. Select it, press done, and there you go. The color is the same, and I'm going to do the same for the postage stamp. I didn't have to use a dropper at that point because it already recognized that I used that color. Okay, so now we are going to look for some more elements, and for this element, it's going to be the Santa sleigh with the reindeer, just something cutesy to add to the notebook page, and I'm going to add that to the bottom. Again, you have a ton of options. The option that I'm actually going to select is part of the standard Canva. I'm just going to stretch it just to make it the size I want, and of course I'm going to recolor it to match the other red colors from the other elements. So now what we're going to do is go back to transparency and do the same thing that we did with the little girl. We're going to bring the transparency down for all of these elements so that it looks like it's a part of the actual sheet, like it was built into the sheet. It's such a cute idea. This notebook page. I didn't even realize that this was a thing, but I saw it and figured, oh, I can do that, and I need to share the information with my friends. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is look for a Christmas background to just add around the sides. I accidentally selected that one. That is not the one I wanted to see. I meant to select all or see all. And again, there's a ton. What I'm looking for is more of the outline. So I went to the photo section to see if I can find one that was kind of like a border, not one that took over the entire notebook page. Of course, that would look cute too, but none of these were my vibe, though they were too photo-like, or not photo-like, realistic, if you will. And so I selected this little cute one. So I'm going to move that to the top, and you're going to see I'm going to end up duplicating it because it is, if I stretch it out any further, you won't be able to see the sides. So I removed the background from that as well. And I'm going to go to transparency again, bring that transparency down to 50. And I'm going to also move this image behind all of the other elements. So you want to go to position, and then you're just going to move it backwards until it's in a position that you like. I moved it back too far, so I just went forward one and it moved it to a position that I like. And so I duplicated it by pushing that little triangle on or as a plus sign on the top. And then I'm just going to maneuver this so that it looks cute. And I'm going to do the same thing, move it to the back, and reduce the transparency. The same thing I did with the top one. And then at that point, really, it's done. You can send this thing to printing. Listen, if people are willing to pay money for this, go ahead and make it happen. You can create digital versions, or you can print it for your customer. Good luck. Okay, it's printing. I just did print on plain paper for my settings. It's nothing fancy. Again, just plain paper that I use to make it durable to write on. I know some folks say, hey, we can just use regular line paper, but regular line paper is a little flimsy. which is why you create the lines in Canva and then use normal copy paper. All right, my friends, this is the printout. And I see some air bubbles on my table. I'm gonna have to get some heat to get that out. Anyway, so I'm just going to use scissors to cut out this outline because I don't have a borderless printer. But if you have a borderless printer, you're not gonna have this issue. I think I'm just gonna buy a cheapy borderless printer because I just need it for a few things. I like to make coloring books and activity books, and I know I said it in my previous video, my printer doesn't print borderless, so it leaves that white line, and I don't like that. But I've seen some cheap HP printers that are also also have the refillable cartridges, just like the Epson, and it's like $189. I think I'm going to put that on my Christmas list to myself. I'll just tell my husband, hey, I want this for Christmas, and it will magically appear. It feels better when when he buys it. I don't know, it's weird. We have the same money, but it feels better when he brings it home. But I digress. So yeah, I'm just cutting the white outline off to the best of my ability. You see, it's kind of difficult because this piece in the middle, it doesn't really have a guide. So you just have to use your best judgment and align it like that part. That's why it's not completely straight. But you can also use your paper trimmer or paper cutter, anything that you have. But y'all, that is it. That is it. You can make a bunch of these and give it to your customers if they want to write a letter to Santa, if they have multiple children. But honestly, I would probably just sell the digital as opposed to just printing out a sheet of paper for someone. I would sell the digital, and I would probably sell it for about $4 just for the digital. That's what I usually sell my digitals for if it's just one single page. But if it's multiple pages, it's discounted. So that is it, y'all. I'm going to do my outro, and that is it. All right, my friends, I hope that you learned something today and that you enjoyed this super simple tutorial and enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love for you to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, of course, so that you know when I am on, and tell a friend. And if you haven't done so already, my shameless plug, the Luxe Craft Room on Facebook. We are growing. We have more than 100 people right now. I'm so excited. I have great plans for this group. I just want it to be a community where everyone feels safe and comfortable. It doesn't matter what your skill level is, and we can just all exchange ideas. We can support one another's business and just be that community. So head over there to the Facebook. I will link it below in the description box. And I don't have anything to link as it pertains to the tutorial because it's just regular photo paper. You don't need anything insane. So having said all that, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.